Okay. Hey. Okay. Before we get into this, let's see. Teacher, you want to mention quickly how good you were at last week's conference, where you were, who was there?
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Sensei. Yeah, I had the opportunity to speak at Drake University and in Des Moines, Iowa, of all places. And during that time, the theme was about creativity, and I had really dialogued a lot with Sensei about creativity. He gave me some great points that I shared with both faculty, the deans of various departments in the philosophy department. And it was very well received. And just a point on that, to say that the thing that Sensei mentioned that I thought was so important was not about tips about creativity, but the experience of creativity. So in the experience of creativity, really connecting with that blank canvas aspect, in our language and Sensei's language, it's easy the eye and open and settle. Now, even though I wouldn't use those phrases without vetting them with the people first and explaining that a little bit, I did talk about centering and the importance of that, connecting with this so that we understand the value of settling and having that space, beginning even with space. So it was very well received, very positive and well received by the community there.
Yay. Good. Before we move along in tonight's thing, what did we do last week? Questions, comments, insights, something? Remind me what we did last week, and everyone else jump in. No one remembers. I'm the only one. Has no memory of anything.
Of course, my good excuse is I was gone. So
yes, the teacher was courting the university groups. Yes.
Yeah, Bob, Steve here. We're talking about circle center harmony, and I guess the main theme was that as the situation changes, the character is impacted, and as the character is impacted, the situation is impacted. There's this dynamic that goes on between them, and there's this harmony, or at least a desire for harmony. And so that I think that was really the main thing.
Yeah, the desire, it's not I gotta desire this necessarily. It's within those two forces. There is inherent in them, within that, a desire to harmonize, balance, whatever, to dance together, whatever. Yeah. So character, situation to character. Yeah. So again, if we settle and open enough and play with one and then the other and back to this one, it should get clearer and clearer for you as you spend some time with it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Somebody, anything on last week that turned you on or confused you or center, circle, center?
Sensei, this is Justin. I would say that one thing that really has been coming up more and more this week, especially for me, has been the trust factor that's involved, in the sense that we don't have to know a whole lot about what's going on. But if we're listening and we're settled open into more of a listening space and just trusting the process, the situation will inform us and our sense of character will inform us as well about what is possible here on levels that we won't always know. And the not knowing shouldn't stop us from settling, opening into this listening, participating space. So there's a trust factor. I'd like to say.
Yeah, once you do a couple of few basic patterns, Bobby to Robert to Nadeau, 1 by 2 by 3 by, bad day, fair day, good day, whatever. Once you do a few of those, then I don't know how much you need the word trust to know that whatever level you're at, the next level is going to be a finer vibrational dimension, producing either, if you're highlighting character, a finer level of character or a better sense of the situation and the character in the situation supporting the character, that relationship there. So yeah, trust. And at first, I didn't have a lot of knowledge, so I bumped into this. I can't remember exactly, but I remember if I make this next move, whatever it was, wherever I was at the time, I don't know if I'm still going to be alive. It's a strong feeling. But I trusted, well, so far, my quote, meditation seemed to be okay. I'll just go for it or move into the next, whatever you want to call that. But I didn't know, and there was that sense of a possible death. Now I'd say, oh yeah, it was a death of a Bobby so he could become a Robert, or a death of this level of situation so the finer of that situation could show. But at the time I didn't know. I just gutsied my way through. So that's sort of my history. I didn't have anybody holding my hand, leading me, laying out these beautiful diagrams. Okay. So a lot of my work was on my own. Okay. And so, yeah, in that case, having faith, trust, try it out. Yeah. If you're too chicken, I'm not sure how far you'll get in doing this or any process. If I don't want to try that, I'm not sure, whatever. I doubt if you'll get very far with anything. Okay. So whatever word you want to use, trust, sure. Yeah. But it does get easier with more and more practice and the continuation of things, the finer, more encompassing they are, it gets much easier. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody, anything from carryover from last week? Insight, question, problem? Okay. If not, you're so pleasantly quiet. Okay, our write-up for tonight was
reactions to the underworld.
There we go. Thank you. Save me from having to lift this workbook. Okay, so reactions underworld. But then I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, let's play a bit with there, but let's do the other direction of it, so to speak. So that's why I got push and pull, and that's why I have downward arrows and upward arrows. What I'd like to fun around with, now it's going to seem very easy, so my quote, advanced people, don't dismiss it. Oh yeah, I know that. I don't care if you know it. Well, what I want to play with is starting very simply with a Bobby body or a Robert body present. Okay. So again, the experience. It's like, I know you all know you have a body and you have a name for the body. I'm Robert, you're whatever you are. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. But right now I want to feel my presence body. Okay. All right. Now, the game I'd like to play is, let's start off not knowing a bunch of stuff. Okay. Let's start off as if we're, what to call them, the heavier humans. those people you associate with that you have pity on. Anyway, let's start off at fairly basic. It's like, I don't know anything about energy stuff or whatever. Okay. Now, in this, energy's moving upwards. Okay. I don't care about the situational thing. I just want to work on this main center, the plant, let's say, the plant. Okay. Energies are starting to move up through the plant. Okay. Now, as a human being, what's your first sense of energies coming to and through the system? These arrows should really be going through him and through him. Okay, so energies are the beginnings of flowing through the system. There you are. Now, with you individually, a vague feeling of these energies, or a sense feeling of these energies, vague, what would you attribute that to? What would you say? For example, I'll give you my example right now. It's a little faint hint of nervousness. Maybe a little potential quiver in my knees. Okay, I'm just sitting here, but there's this vague sense of nervousness and a little more body feeling, a little quiver in my knees. Okay, so let's say that's one of my very early pickups on the energies from under starting to come up through the character plant. Okay, somebody, what's yours? I want to hear a variety. At this very early level, feeling, here comes some energies.
I feel pressure and I feel a sense of tightness in my stomach and chest a little bit.
Okay. So we'd imagine the pressure means pressure here. Yeah, pressure could be, I feel pressure from the world, or I feel pressure in my head, or I feel pressure here. So for me, clarity. Yeah.
Physically agitating. I'm physically agitated, and that it produces this agitation results in a tightening of my abdomen and my chest a little bit.
So if you're just sitting there and suddenly you notice things are getting a little tight. Okay. Right. Now, because you don't know anything about what's going on energy-wise, what would you think is happening? For example, in my case, what was I nervous? I might look around to see what I'm nervous about. And I could find something. I got Katya in the kitchen. She makes me nervous. I got you guys out there. You make me nervous. I got the world out there. It makes me nervous. Taxes are coming up. That really makes me nervous. Okay. So I could run around and find something. But I just want to stay with the character. Okay. You got the game? Somebody?
Sensei Bob here.
Yeah.
Pressure in the neck and the back of my head. And I feel like I'm stiffening against what I think is change that's coming, but I don't know what the change is. So I'm kind of starting to kind of stiffen and resist it a little bit.
Okay. So something's moving through. In Bob's case, this starts to happen. Okay.
All right.
I'll exaggerate so you can see. This starts to happen. Okay. And he's noticing that he would reject that, fight it. I don't want this to happen, you know. I got to go get my neck massaged or something. Where would you go with that, Bob? Just from there. Would you go get your neck massage? Where would you go with that?
Yeah, I'd call my chiropractor and say, hey, I got a stiff neck. Could you help me?
All right. You don't have to use mine, by the way, just as an example. But if that's what you do, cool. Okay. Okay. Somebody. Here it comes softly through. Oh, Dusty, yeah.
It's Dusty. I feel like shock in my nervous system. It's
Detail that. That's too big. That's too big for me. Keep it simple for me. The beginning of the feeling. Before you get to the totality of your nervous system, can you keep it even smaller? Your
Fear.
first.
Fear.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also excitement, though.
Okay. So some activity that we could misinterpret as fear, and other people could misinterpret as excitement, or the both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fearful of jumping out of the plane in my parachute, but I'm excited about it or something. So yeah, okay. So apparently a couple of things could that happen. Okay, fine, cool. Thank you. Somebody, there's very early beginnings. Very early beginnings. Steve, have you said anything yet? Come on, I need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My butt is very uncomfortable sitting on the chair. I'm just getting kind of restless here.
Okay.
And my body is a little achy. Probably I would want to move somewhere else. I would want to get away from this.
Yeah.
It's
So
not pleasant.
if we had started with Steve, sit quietly, suddenly he's having a problem. He can't sit quietly. Okay. Is there any story you would make up about that at that level? Any story you'd make up about why you're uncomfortable or what's happening to your butt or something?
There just be a general restlessness here. A sense of discontent about something. I'm sure I would have a story about why I'd be pissed off about something or other. The world or whatever would be pissing me off, and I'm restless. I don't like how things are.
Yeah. So I like that. So in our restlessness, because we're not clear really on how things work, we have to make up a story. Is that okay? Am I following you here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's accurate.
Bob has to make up a story that he needs medical attention, somebody working on his neck. My fearfulness, I'd have to find something that why I should feel fearfulness. I can come up with a bunch of things again. The wife in the kitchen, the taxes coming up, okay, I just want to point out how, see, I want you to feel what sort of normal people feel and what they do, the stories they make up, and the amount of whatever time, money, energy they put into the stories. When I'm sort of inferring, I'm not sure how much truth there is to the stories at this stage of the game. The truth is there are some energies flowing up. The stories you make up may not have anything to do with it. It's your reaction stories. Could we call that? I'd maybe like that, reaction stories. Okay, you're following my practice plan here? Somebody? Tisha, you got anything for us?
Actually, nothing that specific. When I'm feeling the energies come up, I guess the first thing I notice is that it's not normal. It's unique from my normal.
Okay, so something different is happening to me right now, sitting here.
Yeah.
Okay, how different? In what manner different?
Well, specifically, as I'm doing the practice with you right now, I'm just feeling like a little bit of like extra warmth along my spine. Okay. So that's just like the first.
Okay.
It's not my normal, every part of the day. So yeah.
And for fun, playing along with this game that I'm setting up, what stories might you get into because of that occurrence in this centered character plant?
Yeah, I'd probably say, I must be resisting because usually if there's heat, there's some blockage in a system to cause that friction. So
you know too much already. Simple. Simple. I don't even know if people know that, oh, heat is because I'm congesting things and whatever. Like, simple. You're a dummy from the street. You're Mr. Norm. You don't know shit. I want to stay at that level a bit.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I sort of want you to understand in the sense when people say, gee, I sit down and I get nervous, that you kind of go, aha, kind of thing. They say, well, gee, what are you nervous about? Now you're going to go into their stories, maybe. Maybe they have a good story. I'm nervous because I don't have the money for the damn taxes. Oh, okay, whatever. But we're talking about just this unit here.
Yeah.
This unit.
The story I'm telling myself is something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Okay.
Something's wrong.
And again, in Storyland, we can make up all kinds of shit.
Sure.
Am I getting sick? Do I have COVID?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking COVID, but I'm sick. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Not terribly sick, but this is just the beginning, like the beginning of a cold or flu or something like that.
Okay. You all have a sense of the game. I'd like to hear from somebody else other than my quote regulars. Hello out there in the world. Playing the game.
Hi, Sensei. Sensei, it's Gina.
Hi, Gina. Okay, you're sitting there. And for whatever reason, the upflow of energy wants its turn. Let's say, here it comes.
If I was like trying to learn how to meditate, I'd go, I'm doing something wrong. This is wrong. This is not it. And I'd probably.
Why? How do you know that? How do you haven't told us what you're feeling.
It doesn't feel great. It doesn't, I feel really thick. Kind of like Steve. My butt hurts sitting here and it's like,
So did she say
my body. I'm not used to feeling my body.
Okay.
And if I was doing something, if it was like stage fright or something, I'd want to go have a glass of wine or do drugs or something to shift it.
Well, wait a minute, I'll join you on the wine part, but yes. But that's another escape again. Yeah. Either go into the stories or go into the booze or go into whatever. That's a continuation of the story. Yeah. Okay. Again, we've touched on this subject before about the early touch of energy, but I thought just sitting here, and suddenly something starts to happen. Okay. And it's not because the situation has changed. I don't care about that right now. It's just this body character sitting. For whatever reason, the upward flow of energies on a show. Okay. Somebody else? Before we move along here, somebody else? New Zealand, Chris, you playing this game? No.
Yes, it's I'm with you. Sorry.
There you are. Are you playing this game? Are you sitting? No, sit on the damn chair. Talk from there.
Sit on the damn chair.
Okay, so you decided to sit and just easy for a bit. Just sit. Suddenly, after whatever, some minutes or whatever, here comes the energies softly, early through the system. What is your feeling of that?
Mine's normally a.
Okay, wait, you said probably. Screw you, Chris. Screw you. No, probably. I want an experience.
It's a connecting, a reaching down. So my immediate reaction would say I'm calming, but it's actually there's something coming up and there's something coming down. So there's an
oh, okay, got caught in that.
Okay,
now in this show right now, we're just working on the up. Scratch out the coming down. Just highlight the coming up for me.
No, yeah. So it's a growth, filling, a growth. So a growing.
Okay, but what was the negative? You don't know anything about energies help me grow and shit like that. You don't know anything.
Yeah.
But here come the energies. What's your feeling at that level? What's your experience at that level?
Well, I wouldn't say nervous and alert. There's a nervous.
Okay,
A
nervous.
little scared. There's something different. Something's changed.
Yeah,
Scared.
that's scary. If you were home alone, you'd probably double check you locked the doors.
Yeah, it's funny. Funny you should say that.
Because you're home alone right now and you're getting scared. Yeah.
I'm in a different house, so yeah.
Oh, the house with the ghosts in it. Yeah, I know that.
Funny you should say that. So
Okay.
yeah, the little bumps, the little changes of energy are certainly a little noticeable. Subtle things, a different noise, and you're like,
But yeah, I wanted to get you guys to be at this level where they're very early, say subtle, and yet that you have the ability of feeling them, feel how they touch you. Some people tighten, some people vibrate, some people, get scared, whatever. And also I added on, and what storyline could you get into very easy that may have nothing to do with what's going on? But that's where what I could say we all as humans might tend to go. So he would lock the doors and maybe turn on an extra light or two. Okay.
there's a lot of very short baseball bats sitting around the place, so I'm not too sure what kind of a neighborhood I'm in. Thank you.
So he's establishing a reason for what's going on, which sort of is bullshit.
Very much. It's a beautiful
This is
area.
what people do with a lot of these first things. They make up stories, The doctors must get scads of patients who are in a certain way something, but they're making up stories and the doctor can't find anything. And that same person comes back every week and the doctor gives them a title of what? Hypochondriac, was that what? Yeah. Because they keep feeling affected by something. They keep going to the doctor can't find anything. So a lot of, I'm not saying all of it, but probably a high percentage of that is this that we're playing with. Okay. They do feel unsure or scared or shaky or whatever. Well, I got to do something with that. And here come the stories. Yeah. And God forbid they're watching soap operas on the hospital thing because they got all kinds of information now about illnesses. Doctor, I think I've got malamanunuma. I saw it on TV and I had the strange feeling. Yes, okay. Anyway, I'm going to get carried away here. Okay, so now we, being more advanced, know that this energy coming up, no big situational deal. It's just you and the energy. Okay. What would you do with that? For example, I might say, oh, something more is trying to come into play. So it catches my attention. Basics would be what? Settle open. You don't have to settle too deep because it's already kind of there and we're surmising a little bit strong. Quick settle open with the sense that, oh, it's just energy. Sometimes I play word games with it. I say, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were here. Give me a second to open up to invite you more fully here. I sometimes play quick little word games like that, Sorry, I know you rang the doorbell, but I didn't hear it. I apologize. Come on in. Okay. Welcome. So once we get the signal that something's coming through, just as a character, settle, open, let more of the energy come through. And now starts the up and down balancing beat. Okay, energies come in, settle back down, come in again, settle back down. You could use breathing as a reference. Okay, exhaling, inhaling, whatever. And they're mixing, my word mixing, a better character, we surmise. That's our pattern. Okay. All right. So catching an early signal, being more adept, whatever the right word, at this, okay, then you can, instead of going into stories, which often are just total bullshit, waste of time, money, energy, we just hang out with the here and now of it. Boom. Okay. Let's see what else. Somebody else, you following this? What else would you add to this? I say, oh, I apologize. I invite them in. I know they're mixing, my word, mixing, a fuller one. Okay, fuller one. Bob, you want to add something right here to this? What?
Well, Sensei, the fact that you didn't try to apply your previous knowledge, and so yeah, I know what that is. By sticking to the experience, you're starting from an experiential base rather than an awareness base.
Okay, very good, very good. So I think I mentioned when we started, the advanced people would say, we've done this before. I understand this. I know this. What he said was right what I was trying to say, to really experience. But this is kindergarten. Well, if you don't experience at kindergarten, how are you going to experience in high school or at the university? You have no practice, okay? So a fuller experience, hanging out with just the first sense of experiencing something that's very subtle, but just the practice of feeling, experiencing that is great practice. Don't slough it off. I know that. Yes, I understand. That's energy and it does this. Yeah, that's all that stuff. Fine. That's another discussion. Right now we're here with this stuff. Thank you, Bob. That's about what I needed right there. Somebody else want to jump in on where we're going here? The possibilities here?
Sensei, this is Justin. When we've achieved a more settled and open, can we not ask the energies for its story? Ask for more clarification, ask them to rephrase or describe, elaborate on what's going on, get a fuller sense by asking those?
Okay. Hold it, stop for a second. Good. Then sometimes it's kind of a cop-out. I'll let you in once I know what you're going to do. That's kind of a cop-out. It's like the I that wants to know is not the next level of I or Robert or Nadeau or whatever that is experiencing that, and in that knows. There is knowing in the experience. Sometimes a cop-out is I got to know about it before I allow myself to get into it and let it. Happened to me once in a workshop. Some guy came up, this Esalen week-long workshop. What are we going to do this week? What am I going to get out of this week? And I may not be saying it well, but it was like, in a certain way, I don't know, but do what we do and we'll see what happens kind of thing. But he was adamant. He wasn't going to sign up for this class or enter the meeting room until he knew exactly what was going to happen. You're following me? What am I don't know what to do with a guy like that. Screw him. Okay. I don't know if that was a good example story, but there I am. Where are we? Experience. Okay, so noting those things very early so you can start your process. Oh, you hear the doorbell earlier. Okay. I don't wait for the delivery guy when he's bringing food to walk up and pound on the door I pick him up when he pulls the car into the driveway right there and I see the headlights. Then I'm up there and with the money and waiting for him. So earlier is better. I'm trying to say, dumb example, sorry. So within our own system, if you pick it up earlier, then later with more practice, we get faster at, oh, go ahead and mix. And what's it, not a question, what's it trying to do? But as it mixes, what seems to be happening in my system? You're getting calmer, you're getting stronger, you're getting wiser. What seems to be happening in your system? Did I say that right? Let me check with Brad. You okay with that, Brad? Brad's okay with that. Yeah. Somebody other than the same old faces that talk every week. Somebody.
I always like your Chris from New Zealand again. I always like the expression.
Chris, you had your turn. I don't know if we should give you a second one, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
The camera's stuck on. We better go. They almost have that curiosity, that very loose curiosity of experience, and not have an expectation or want a result. Just sit in that moment of just what's gonna. You just. Going to be and kind of let go of those human qualities. I know from an Aikido point of view, there's always that I want a result. Instead of trying to have an experience and a result. Be a a product of an experience.
Yeah, you're on the right track there. I say it here different. So it starts to happen. Oh, there's something happening. And there's, yes, a bit of curiosity. Gee, I wonder who it's going to mix, let's say in this case, who it's going to mix, what it's trying to say, what it's trying to give me. Okay, what nutrient it's trying to give me, what quality it's trying to give me, all of those things. Lament shows there. Yeah, so there's a curiosity. If there's no curiosity, I don't know if somebody would inquire. There's no curiosity about it. Okay.
But not to hang on to that curiosity, not to make a story. Oh, it's this, but just to it's interesting.
Curiosity and go on the trip, or curiosity and open something. Yeah. I had a question though, back to a simpler format. Those who are in medical, so we got Justin, Susan's on. Susan's on. Is Elaine on?
I didn't see her.
Doesn't seem to be. No, she's not on.
Oh, well, what I was going to ask, I'll ask is keeping it simple. A patient comes in and they're in essence saying, when I sit still for a moment, it happens. Did I say that all right, Justin? You must have had some of those where they sort of mention everything's okay until I sit for a moment or something like that. Then suddenly all this stuff happens. Susan, you want to jump in on that? Did you? Don't know if I worded it well, but you get the drift. Jump in. Can she hear me? Is she way back in the mountains again?
She might be.
Hey, Sensei.
Did you hear my question?
I did.
Okay.
I can't think of any off the top that come to me with that. But what I wanted to say is that I appreciated from the early practice that we did that it's almost that the more you worry about the energies in a certain way, the more you call them up. And so I'm appreciating how, people who don't know how to deal with it, how enormous their consternation might become.
Oh, hold it there. That's a good point. Something we should file away. Let's see. So there's energy starting to flow up through. and you begin to worry about them, you say, yeah, what's this, right? They may increase trying to clarify the finer reality of them. Yeah, that's cool that you caught that. I've experienced that working with people where, the first flows of energy for some people are very negative. They hear negative things like, you can't do anything right. And then I have them settle and open. If I remember what I used to do back when, Esalen days, settle and open. Now, what is it saying? And it'd be still negative, but not as horrible. Yeah. And we continue another level. And I think I used to do a pipeline. Now you've got a 3-inch pipeline. More is coming through. What's it saying now? Okay. And usually by the third, unless they're very negative, it starts to change where it becomes almost friendly. Okay. Either at three or four for normal folks. Okay. It starts to become friendly. Now, some people right there, because it was sort of a monster at first, you can't do anything right. And the voice sounds like your mother or your father's or whoever. That when it starts to say, hey, I'm here to help you, a lot of people have a distrust right there. No, it's trying to con me. And if I open to it, it's going to get me kind of thing. All right. So I've had experience with that more than once. And you were bringing that up. Cool. Good call. Good. Continue. You never get a sense of somebody sitting there as a patient in front of you where they begin to talk about these early energy moves of what they're feeling and why they're visiting you, medical person. And you kind of spot almost from the get-go, let's say, that, they don't know what energy is. Oh, it's just their own stuff. Oh, no?
Yeah, I do. And I see them, both looking sort of, there must be something wrong, is often the concern. There must be something that the doctors don't know about that I have. I get people that just look all over the place for what it might be.
Yeah. The stories come fast and easy, huh?
Yes. And they become quite convoluted.
Yeah. Once you get into the stories, it can really spin. Yeah. Quite convoluted. Yeah. Yeah. And hard to dialogue with them when they're in there convoluting, because as soon as you say, well, what about right? They'll say, no, it's left. You say, well, what about left? They'll say, no, it's right. You say, well, what about left and right? They'll say, no, it's something else.
Yes,
exactly. You get caught up in their trap, and they can play games with you and on and on.
Yes.
Yeah. Could potentially get endless. You know that, right?
Endless.
You've been through that.
Yes.
Is that it from you?
Yeah, the folks who are able to just calm, open a little bit, sometimes it just doesn't take very much for the energy to be more friendly, energies to be more okay.
So what are you saying? Once they stop being tight, and if they will in fact settle and open a bit,
yes,
you ask them to straighten up or breathe or move their hands even.
Yep.
That it, for some people, doesn't take much before continue.
Yeah, before it's okay, and they appreciate. Those energies are okay. That feels good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Judson, I'm sure you've got an example here. Basically, I'm asking, somebody sits down and says, when I sit quiet for a moment, it's very simple, right at that level. I'm sure you've had patience, I would think. Talk to me.
We do. So there's a lot that goes on under the umbrella of holistic, but this aspect of what we would commonly call mind or mind feelings, stress plays a big part in what they experience. And every day somebody's sitting down with some level of what we would call anxiety or panic or agitation, and they almost across the board seem to be living through their day-to-day with such a limited capacity that when they stop and they're still for a moment, they almost freak out because they're so busy that they're not listening, they're not sensing feeling. That's so off their radar that when they settle for a moment and immediately they're exposed to the energies, they get really agitated.
Yeah.
And they don't realize, oh, I'm only available for this, and the energies are requiring me to be that.
Yeah.
And you can run every test, like Susan said, lab work, imaging, and it really is just ABC. And they have a hard time believing that, a lot of them, that there must be something wrong. No, it could just be anxiety, but energy, really. It's not here to bother you. There's something going on there.
It may be foreign. I'm just throwing this out. Maybe foreign when they've reached the level of anxiety, which they think of as mental, that to say, okay, in a certain way, you're saying, not really, settle, open, let's feel the body. That there's that. What are you talking about? I got anxiety. What are you doing down here doing this kind of thing? So
that by experience, if we give ourselves the chance to take a deep breath, even if it's incremental, there's some space that's created, and they do feel a little bit better, something shifting, even if it's less horrible. That's good. We're moving in the direction of good. It's not from horrible to awesome.
Yeah.
But
Bobby to Robert. Robert's not fantastic, but he's a hell of a lot better than Bobby. There's a small thing. A fair day to a good day sounds big time, but really, it's a small move. Now, a fair day to a great day or whatever, or honey, I had the greatest day in my life. Now, that's a big jump, can happen. But the small increments as practice. Sort of starting a sense of dimensionality. Nah. Once you get the flavor of that and how it works, then the advanced people, I want to go for more original. Enough of this development, Bobby, Robert, Nadeau, whatever. Now, more original, right? Right there with what you got. So I set this up as A, B, the character and the situation and character, a certain level of balance, harmony, whatever, there. Bobby level probably can't pull it off. Robert could be, but not generally. Let's say Robert and Nadeau. This should be enough. If he's doing this process of center, circle, circle, center kind of thing, then I call that one. If he's got a good one, he's in alignment with more original. It continues inner, but it's not Nadeau to Mr. Nadeau to Sensei to Shihan to there's a certain point where enough of that. Okay, now I know some people will jump the gun and say, oh, enough of that. I'm going for this great self of number 2, 1, 2. And that's an idea. Here and now experience, and don't be afraid of the small experiences. Practice. It's okay. But people are too fast in the mind. They don't want to do this. They want to, I know it. I know. And maybe they got a little scope here that can see finer. But is it an actual experience in the fineness of things? Actual. So tricky with people at that point. Anyway, blah, blah. Okay, now before time goes by too much, so we did a little game with the push, where the energy, for whatever reason, is saying to the plant character, be better. You can be better. And the character begins to feel that and says, yeah, hey, honey, I think I want to lose more weight, or I think I want to put on some muscle, or I think I want to make more money or something. He gets enough of the character where starting to want to move out in expand the situation, character, situation. So don't know if I worded it well, but with that, where am I going? Okay, so you have energies that highlight the character, and I'm just trying to make those distinct. Okay, staying with character still, but the opposite side of the coin. If there's a push, there's a pull. So let's call this a push. Boom, and a push up. Okay. Trying to make the plant a better, healthier, whatever. Boom. Plant. The other side of the coin is its reverse direction. The pull. The pull, that's what the light green line is supposed to infer. Again, should be going through the body as opposed to out there someplace, but good enough, right? Now, playing the game again. Come on. Sit, settle, easy. You don't know nothing, right? You're just sitting there. You're a human being sitting there. You can feel yourself as a human being. Feel yourself. Okay. Now, the first hints of a pull in down, just talking about the physical. We're not talking about the situation. Talking about you by yourself right now, the character. The first sense of a pull in. Give you an example, Bob, your first example.
I had congestion in my nose and nasal passages and everything. If I was going to make a story up here, I'd say, geez, I'm getting like a cold or I'm getting sick or something.
Okay, so congestion. What was the one you told me this afternoon when I asked you to run this?
I think that was
up the body. Getting narrow.
A compression, like my spine was getting compressed down, like somebody was pushing on the top of my head, that kind of feeling.
Okay. So tonight's example, and again, you have many examples. It's a variety of examples, and within yourself, you're going to have different examples. So today you can feel the whole body start to, whatever you said, condense in, not right.
Congested.
Yeah. The second go around, he says, oh, I'm getting congested in the nose. Okay. Okay. Anyway, easy. That was an example or two. In your case, sitting and settling, da, da, da. And suddenly there's a down, a pull. There's a pull going on. Easy. Da, 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 and the pull is going on. Okay, now I'll ask you to be a little bit more sensitive than the norm, to pick up that pulling sensation, how you physically first begin to feel it. Keep it simple. Keep it in the early stages.
I feel a heaviness in my legs.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah. See, as the pull would happen, the heaviness in the legs would probably infer, I can't pick my legs up to go for a walk or a hike or a run or something like that. Just adding to it. Yeah. Okay. So a heaviness. Heaviness. Okay. So maybe people that feel like they're a blob. What's a normal human social words there for that feeling. Blob is not the best one. Come on.
Couch potato.
Sluggish.
Couch potato.
Yeah.
Couch potato. Okay. Couch potato. Okay.
Vegetable. Vegging out.
Vegging out. Okay. Give me some examples, people. Give me some examples. We're sitting there. It's okay. It's okay. And suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, starts to be this thing happening.
My breathing changing the breath, but short and almost rougher.
Yeah, great, good. Breathing will, yeah, get shallower, shorter, yeah. Good. Somebody?
I get a pressure in my sinuses.
Okay.
So it's like again, it's like a compression. It's like somebody squeezing my sinuses.
Okay.
That's what it
You
feels
and you and Noah tonight belong to the same club.
like.
Okay. Somebody? Normal day, da-da-da-da, and suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, there's this feeling. What do you think? I need examples, different examples.
Bob, I feel a tightness in my gut.
Okay. I'm wondering, asking a question here, we had tightness in the gut on the energies coming up, but you're saying on the end, there's tightness in the gut.
Yeah, different direction. My coming
Is that a
up-
Jewish thing? Us
Pardon me?
Catholics kids only get tension this way and you guys get tension that way?
I don't know.
I'm
I
sorry,
haven't
go
asked it
ahead.
that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off there. Stupid me.
It could be. Who knows? Who knows? But no, coming up, the upward was more in the butt being pushed, and I'd be antsy. But here it's more almost like I might feel a little anxiety, a different quality to it. Not a restless thing. It just in the past, I probably would have wanted to eat. But I'm unsettled in the tummy, so to speak.
Following the Jewish line, is this where they say meh, meh?
No, this is not meh. No, this is beyond meh.
Oh, beyond that. Oh, yeah.
It'd be spilkus.
Anyway, could you all give me instead of just physical on this one, a sort of an attitude, also an attitude change on the down thing?
Sensei, I have one. This is Amy.
Go, Amy.
Mine is it's a sense of curiosity. I feel if it's just a normal day and I get the pull down.
But now, don't just say pull down. Tell me what you felt or your attitude, sense of things on the pull down. Say, oh yeah, the pull down.
Okay.
We're starting as normal dumb people here, right? So let's keep it simpler.
It feels like I'm in the center of the drain and I'm drawn into the warp, yeah. I guess.
I like that one because when I was funning around getting ready for this, that was one that showed up for me. Definitely. Okay. So very good. Yeah. But again, that's ours. There are many. I'm not saying, people, you must experience this. I give you a couple for example. Okay. So it could be a spiral down yeah. Great.
It doesn't feel like it's a negative at all. Neither direction really feels like a negative. It just feels like, I'm curious about this. What's this?
Okay. Let's see if we can fit her in. So that
there's movement didn't
that movement didn't negate your thinking sense of things?
No.
You're okay with the movement? You're going, oh, okay, what is this?
It's like I want to explore it.
That's where I'm heading. Yes, yes,
Okay.
we got that. Might be she's just really okay with down energies. Okay. So when they begin to happen, she has no fear or gets negative about them. That doesn't occur in her system. And she goes, oh, what's up today? Where is it going? What level am I going to hit? And then who will I be? Okay. By the way, that's what those lines represent, going down to a different level. Okay. Inferring easy, settle, open infers dimensionality, finer dimension, and that you're standing on a finer floor or a floor that has a bigger pool of energies there. Okay. Yeah. So we'll get a rebeat. So down, 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 and eventually boom, and from the boom, bang, kind of thing. So am I getting too far ahead of anybody here for the simplicity? So, okay, we'll file that away. Some people are so okay with the down. Would you say during the COVID time that, because we talked a lot about downtime and shit, that you were okay with the sense of down and you could sit with it and fun with it? That's true.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great. Yeah, it was like, whoa, everything. I mean, there was a sense of anxiety, but it was a lot of it was like, oh, I like that. I like down.
She's one of those type. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, to recognize either the attitude. Give me an example of an attitude. Okay, one for me would be as this is happening. It's an unsurety. Unsurety. I'm not even sure what to think about right now. Okay. Or if this were happening when I'm prepping for a show, it would be unsure about what the hell I should try to lay out. Or unsure about should I lay it out that way, something like that. So unsure for me is part of the, what's the word there? Attitude change. Okay. Not just physical. Okay. We'll note it in the physical. Okay. Because I would tend to feel skinnier. Yeah. Okay. Smaller, more incapable. Now, is this an attitude now? A little more incapable. Honey, let's go to the gym. No, I'm not today. I'm in this and I'm incapable. Yeah. So that'd be the story that I would make up. Oh, no, I can't. As you get more versed in this, then we know the tricks of bing, bang, and we can. If you so want to, but it's possible. Yeah. Yeah. I gave you a few examples. You talk to me. So not just a physical sense here, but a little, for like words, attitudinal change. Go.
I got one, Sensei. Sean here.
Hey,
I feel
Sean.
like sometimes I can be hopelessly lost in thought. And then I'll catch myself, or a moment of reckoning comes. I don't know, something happened, boom. And there I am. And I get miffed, irked. I get angry at myself for being so lost. And on a better day, or...
Okay, again, we're just keeping it very simple.
Yep.
Want to go on to a better day? I don't know if I want to go there, but give it a shot.
But I mean, like, okay, if I hang out with it for a bit and realize how much grief I'm giving myself, then I can settle down a little bit and feel like you can afford to be a little more gentle with yourself. And, you know, like, my thing is, there you go again, Sean, old buddy. You know, it's sort of like a mantra.
I wonder if in this case, people, you guys play and research it, if getting caught up in this mind drift, or is that a word?
Yeah.
And realizing you've been in this mind drift and getting nowhere, accomplishing nothing kind of thing, that you go, what am I doing? And right away there, this starts. And as soon as this starts, you said something semi-positive right there in the early stages of, first you want to get angry at yourself. Yeah, okay. But past that,
Is being more gentle with myself. Like, there you go again.
gentle with yourself.
A little
Yeah.
more humorous, ironic.
Yeah. So again, I'm pretty good at some of the shit. So I wouldn't hang out angry at myself very long, but for a quick moment to notice it, I wouldn't hang out laughing about the humor of it all for ages. I want to keep moving with this, keep going on with this. So I experience those things, but I don't stop there. I don't stop at the angry station for long, hopefully, or the happy station for long. It's like, yeah, that's cool at this level, and continuing, what's the fuller of this that's happening kind of thing? What's the fuller understanding of what's going on? Okay.
Yeah, you've been a great guide that way, especially in the last 2 weeks.
I think another word for great guide is pain in the ass. You agree? Yes, he agrees. Okay. Oh, before I forget, how many do we have on right now?
27.
27. Okay. Before I forget, no, next week. Okay. I'm going to try twice a month. Okay. Now, digest this, feel this. The first and third Fridays. The first and third Friday of every month, if we continue and continue. Okay. First and third. So in May, the first Friday, yes. The third Friday, yes. Okay, yeah. Did you feel that? Memorize now?
And so that would be Friday. The first Friday is May 5th in California, 6th in New Zealand. The third Friday is May 19th in California, the 20th in New Zealand. So,
well,
first Friday is May 5th. Third Friday is May 19th.
And for us non-foreigners, first and third. Okay. Another reminder, San Francisco Aikido people, the Sunday the 30th, San Francisco Dojo will do a shot.
What time is it?
Oh, I think they know, 1 o'clock, I think. Okay. And what? Donations are welcomed. I made a joke to my engineers that my Starbucks bill is adding up. They're going to not give me service here soon.
Yes, we have there's the link for donations. So there you go.
There we go.
Empty your wallet into the the coffer there. Yes, please do. It's important that in supporting not only this work but Sensei's work, and so be as generous as you can. Thank you.
Thank you. So running over here, anything about recognizing whether it's a down pull, and again, you know the basics, down pull to a certain level. You have to catch that level, just feel it, something there. And from that level, boom, the inflation, it's almost like a exhale to a certain point, and then an inhale. I call it slurpee sometimes, or a mix enhances the character. A Bobby going down can fun around and be a Robert, okay, or a 10-pounder funning around can be a 20-pounder, okay. So I mentioned to Oakland Amy said, I want to get stronger. I had to have the sense a little bit deeper into this, a little bit deeper. Get a better floor. That better floor has a pool of energy, of strength, okay? And tap it, slurpee it, mix it, and something should begin to happen if you fun around. I just felt her depth wasn't quite enough for what she wanted, okay? Blah, right, Amy? You've been funning around, of course. When you get results, you're going to call me instantly and say, wow.
I know, yes. Working on it.
Okay, so we're okay on down, floor, more available. Boom. Is this camera on this? Let's do a quick Aikido type thing. Okay. Let's see. Brad, I need you. Boy, he thought I was going to sit this one out. Ueshiba. Okay, let's see what the should be. Back a little bit. Okay, well, when I turn around, I'm going to do slow motion. Okay, forget this is the situation. I'm not worried about that right now. Character. Boom, down deeper. Okay, hits a certain floor. From that floor, more fully through the body. Okay, that was what I just said, right? Later, you get to do it very fast, not as an idea, won't work. Oh, yes, I understand. Bink, be there. Bink. Okay. As an actual, even the actual gets very fast. Boom. Deeper, open, slurpy, fuller and fuller. Okay. When you get a guy like this style, when they do something and then come up from their shoulder, it's like, no, they just have a little extra shoulder energy. Yeah, but not good enough for what we're doing. I want them to be fuller, boom, 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 fuller. So that's a simple Aikido technique that can really highlight that. That's why I like to do it now and then. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, where are we? So we've got push. Okay. Yeah, so when you're getting pushed, you realize you're being pushed. Quick settling. Don't worry about going deeper. It's already there pushing. Okay, but do a quick, stop, so to speak. Being open, allowing the push energies to come in and add to the character, mix up a better character. Okay, so the pull down to a certain level, open, and the mix starts with that newer energy. That's the down. The up. Just position yourself. Open. Boom. Welcome it. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that first doorbell. Thank you for being here. It's going to be interesting to see what quality you are. I just continue. I don't get covered. What quality are you? I'm interfering with the mix. Okay. Let me think about the mix. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be handsome and socially acceptable. Don't bullshit me here. Boom. Breathe it, feel it, have an experience. The experiencer will have knowledge. But if you try to get knowledge about an experience that hasn't been experienced, we're getting into bullshit land. Can't say it any better, but I'll just keep saying it. Okay. How many students try to show them something physically on a mat? And they say, oh, yes, Sensei, I understand. But when they say that, I'm there with them. I feel no body change. Nothing changes in their energy, but they understand. Yes, I understand. And they keep doing it. They don't change this part of things. Critical. Okay. So, yes, there's a place for understanding. That a map is my presentation of that part of it. But then you have to sit and feel and have the ability of playing these games. Okay. So, yes, it's very useful. Look at the sitting man. Oh, that's right. I understand. Let's do it sitting. So easy to see, easy to read about it. But someplace along the line, you've got to do it and play with it for a while. And then more fully being it. Okay? Yeah. If we
Back to patience for just a second on what you said on clients, patients, mere mortals, if you will. The idea often takes people to not understanding, but misunderstanding. And because something's so uncomfortable at that first level and they misunderstand, they are reluctant to open and welcome what's deeper and more available for them there. So they do brace themselves and they sort of tell these stories and block it out because
they've established it as a monster. I make jokes about this all the time. I'm asking people to stick their bare bottom over the edge of the rowboat in a crocodile-infected lake. They ain't going to do it. Okay. They're monsters. So we have to, in some cases, very easily present. They look like monsters. They feel like monsters. They sound like monsters. But just play it a little bit here. What if they're not? Can you settle and open a bit? Just try it out a little bit. Okay, stick your toe in the water, not your whole butt. Okay, just a little bit. Easy. There's a little more room here. Easy. And even right there, you may notice, that's already a change. And you could ask them right there, could you feel the change? Right? You're a pro. You feel the change. You see the change. You say, what about there? Now, they may not yet be experiencing it, so they may not yet say, yeah, I don't know, or no change. But you know it's coming. You go, okay, one more, whatever. So we have to gently, so far anyway, take them into this. Because they've created this, again, this bad PR that Underworld Energies has. That's the devil's land, and it's horrible under there. That's what it first looks like. So how to introduce people that have an innate fear. I do a class and I ask the people, just sort of settle, bend their knees a little bit. No, don't crawl around on the ground. Just bend the knees. Just be more present with the ground. Just sort of open, just a little bit right there. You know, out of every good-sized class, there'll always be a couple are standing there with stiff legs looking at me. Ain't no way they're going to bend their knees. You say, oh, shit, this poor person, they're really. Bob, you talked about being uptight on your energies up.
Yes.
People are sort of really that way. And you say, bend your knee. No, not me, man. Because it infers to them they're settling deeper. And so, you show them a simple thing. I will bend your knees here and we'll breathe, we'll stretch, we'll move, we'll hum, whatever. And a couple at first ain't going to do it. They ain't going to do it. That's a real fear. I mean, we're not asking them to do gymnastics. We're saying, bend your goddamn knees. Be more physically present. Oh, shit, when I'm present, I start to get... So we got to deal with those little people in some form or other, either simpler exercises for them or better verbal explanations for them. Something, but you guys who are in the field, you figure it out. You research, you play. Okay. Oh, shit, quick story. Esla and I used to do this thing. I guess we were probably talking about settling or something. And I'd have somebody, a guy lay down, and 8 or so people, whoever could fit around him, we would touch this person with our hands, not heavy pressure, just touch with a sense of settle, easy, settle. And there'd be people touching his shoulders, his back, his hips, his knees, okay? Some people, as soon as they did that, the person would go immediately deeper and settle. You could feel them, on my expression, pooling out. Like, oh, this is great. This is grand. But out of the group, there's always be a couple. I think there were many guys, don't hold me to that, who, as soon as it started to happen, they would come screaming out of there. I mean, really strong physically. Their next move would have been to lash out. I mean, really, rah! They couldn't take any settling and any added little, no pressure, but added little. They'd freak out. They'd freak out. What does that tell us? Tells us something. Enough for tonight. Nothing next week, right? Back on the first Friday of next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Sensei.